Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 3 is a heightened version of Super Saiyan exclusive to members of the Saiyan race. It is the third and most powerful transformation in the traditional Super Saiyan line. In terms of overall Saiyan transformations, however, it ranks below both Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue in terms of power. Super Saiyan 3 is the third form of Super Saiyan and the successor to the second transformation. This form extracts every drop of potential from a Saiyan's blood. Goku was the first to achieve the form and was able to do so after several years of vigorous training in Otherworld. Gotenks later achieves this form through the power of Trunks and Goten's fusion, Gotenks and with Goku's example. Appearance. Unlike the two transformations preceding it, Super Saiyan 3 brings with it a drastic change to the Saiyan's appearance. Noticeably, the Saiyan's golden hair lengthens until it reaches their waist, their eyes regain their pupils, their eyebrows disappear, resulting in a pronounced ridge, and they become slightly more muscular. Additionally, the Saiyan's aura becomes more violent and erratic than before, and the plasma from Super Saiyan 2 remains present. The transformation causes some stark changes in physical appearance. The trademark characteristic of the transformation is the user's hair. The rigid hair of the Super Saiyan 2 state becomes flowing and smooth again and grows down to where sometimes passes the user's waist, unless the user in question is bald, in which case the user is still bald. In the case of users who already had waist-length hair in base form, the hair also reaches below the feet. The hair color of Super Saiyan 3 is still golden blonde but takes on a darker and more yellow shade of gold compared to the previous Super Saiyan forms, which had a paler shade of gold when not surrounded by an aura. The eyebrows vanish completely, making the forehead and eye ridges appear larger and revealing a more prominent brow ridge. These traits do not apply to female Super Saiyan 3 in either Dragon Ball Heroes or Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. When used by an ancient evil Saiyan, like Cumber, this form does not appear to increase the length of the user's hair much. The irises remain greenish/teal, but pupils become visible and are colored a darker shade of green. Interestingly, children and female Saiyans do not display pupils in this form, retaining the same irises as in previous Super Saiyan forms. A small increase in muscle mass from Super Saiyan 2 is evident, and muscle tone is sharply defined. The user's voice also tends to get gruffer while in this form. Energy radiation is so great that the aura pulses at an extremely high frequency, almost to the point where it seems static. The sound of the aura is also pitched even higher than that of Super Saiyan 2. This feature is only present in the original manga and the Dragon Ball Z anime. However, in more recent media, such as commercials and Dragon Ball Super, the aura is now depicted more jagged, much like the Super Saiyan 2 form, sometimes with an orange glow emanating from the aura, and the aura instead sounded the same normal pitch as the previous Super Saiyan forms. The electrical discharge, like in the Super Saiyan 2 form, is again constant and may reach further outward from the body than before. The Saiyan's voice may become slightly deeper, though this is obviously a feature only found in the anime. If the user of the Super Saiyan 3 form has a tail, it turns yellowish gold. There is no personality change, as no emotion is required to initiate the transformation. Goku acted stoic to intimidate Babidi and Majin Buu, and Gotenks acted as he normally would. Another notable change is that the user seems to glow while in this state, more so than before, where the skin and clothes color were lightened, but not as much as the color change of this form. This mostly applies to training GI. When Goku transforms into Super Saiyan 3, his training GI appears to be rather gold and blue instead of orange and blue. However, in most recent animations, and Dragon Ball Super, this glowing effect does not appear when Goku is in Super Saiyan 3 without his aura. In the series, particularly during his fight with Beerus, his skin and clothes do not glow, and always remain in their normal color as his base form. Attributes. The exact method for achieving Super Saiyan 3 is never touched upon in either the manga. In the anime, however, Goku does refer to the Super Saiyan 3 form as drawing all of a Saiyan's power out of the body while transformed into a Super Saiyan 2. Like its predecessors, it drastically increased the Saiyan's speed, strength, and power. In terms of power, Super Saiyan 3 is approximately 4 times more powerful than Super Saiyan 2. The power increase is so significant that it can be felt as far away as the Kaioshin realm. In the anime, the transformation into Super Saiyan 3 alone severely endangered the planet Earth, causing a variety of natural calamities. This was not present later, when Goku was able to instantly assume the transformation against the evil fused Majin Buu. The power the transformation grants is staggering, allowing Goku to overwhelm Majin Buu in combat during their first meeting. Ultimately, Goku would abandon the Super Saiyan 3 transformation after he fights Beerus and realizes that mastering Godly Ki in his normal form and applying it to create a new transformation would increase his strength further and sap less strength. However, Goku would use this form against Trunks in a sparring match to test his power. Goku would later briefly use this form against Kale and Caulifla in the Tournament of Power to endure one of their combined attacks. In addition to the change in appearance, the Saiyans' personality also undergoes a slight change. In Goku's case, he became more serious and ruthless. The English anime further accentuates this change, revealing that Goku's voice becomes lower and more monotone while transformed into a Super Saiyan 3. Overview. Akira Toriyama stated in the Saikyo Jump's June 2014 interview that Super Saiyan 2 and 3 are nothing more than powered-up variants of Super Saiyan and that mastering Super Saiyan could increase its power beyond that of Super Saiyan 2 and 3 while draining less energy. This form of Super Saiyan is achievable by a Saiyan who has already obtained the Super Saiyan 2 form and then trains intensely. Notably, it appears that this form can only be achieved under out-of-the-norm circumstances, as Goku achieved the form while dead, and while Goten and Trunks could not attain the form, their fusion Gotenks was able to. Where the fourth stage of Super Saiyan's purpose was 100% utilization of physical stamina, the purpose of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is to increase the utilization of ki, and as a result, the transformation consumes far more energy than even Super Saiyan 2. This notably leads to extended levels of fatigue, even long after powering down. If the user has died and is not encumbered by a living body, this strain is reduced somewhat, and additional energy depletion is minimized, such as in Goku's case during his first fight with Majin Buu. The difference between Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2, its predecessor, is immediately noticeable as speed, strength, and endurance are all pushed far beyond the normal limits. The sudden awakening of Super Saiyan 3 is such a violent explosion of power that the user could potentially obliterate themselves. A Super Saiyan 3 can easily beat opponents that a Super Saiyan 2 couldn't handle. The first time that Goku used this form on Earth, the tremendous force of the transformation caused the clouds to gravitate towards him. Its power caused massive tidal waves and hurricane forces, and nearly shook the planet apart. During subsequent transformations, Goku seemingly controlled it enough to prevent such dangerous side effects. In addition, this power could be sensed even as far as the distance between Earth and Sacred World of the Kai, something that not only shocked Shin, Kibito, and Gohan, but worried them as well. However, with the enormous power, there are some very serious setbacks stemming from the rapid use of ki energy. When the temporally revived Goku showed Babidi and Majin Buu the form, he cut his remaining temporal revival energy in half, and in the anime, when he shows his power to the excited Trunks and Goten, his energy was completely dissipated, forcing him to return to the other world. It was stated by Piccolo, however, that Den's healing ability would have made Goku's revival energy return to normal. But Goku refutes this statement. Likewise, when the now fully living Super Saiyan 3 Goku attempted to regain energy while Vegeta and Mr. Satan distracted Kid Buu, he was unable to do so, draining his power completely and leaving him in a weakened, normal state where he could not even control the Super Spirit Bomb. Goku acknowledged that he had little experience with the transformation, with his fight with Kid Buu being the first time he used it in a full fight with a living body. Performing it twice in a short time brought him to his knees and expended all of his remaining energy. In the manga, he does not revert to his original form until after Vegeta intervenes to buy him the minute that he needed, however. The fused Gotenks was not able to maintain the transformation for very long either, reverting to his base form after substantially less than 30 minutes transformed. In the case of older Saiyans such as Nappa, usage of the form can even prove to be lethal to the user due to the stress imposed as a result of the massive power gain, compounded with any battle damage received by that time. In Dragon Ball Super, these energy-sapping issues appear to be circumvented by Goku, through the utilization of Super Saiyan 3 in an extremely sporadic fashion for quick power boosts to overwhelm enemies. Using the form in this way does not appear to have the same exhaustive effect on the user that it does have when used for prolonged periods of time. The energy drain issues are exacerbated even further when Goku is turned back into a child in Dragon Ball GT, where he can only hold the transformation for a couple of seconds and struggles to utilize the power against baby Vegeta. This limit was somewhat lifted after Goku's tail was restored with the help of Elder Kai, allowing him to sustain the form for a longer duration, though he was still no match for Super Baby Vegeta in this state. Usage and power. The form uses a Saiyan's full potential with power extracted from every drop of their blood. This form draws the hidden power of its user out to its limits, however, it is flawed in that it possesses huge energy consumption. The Super Saiyan 3 form gives the user 4 times the strength of a Super Saiyan 2, so it multiplies a regular Super Saiyan's power by 8 times. To transform into a Super Saiyan 3, the Saiyan must already possess the prior Super Saiyan form and must push as hard as they can to find the energy deep inside them, then tap into that energy, allowing them to undergo the transformation. Goku uses the Super Saiyan 3 transformation in a brief battle against Majin Buu in order to stall him long enough for Trunks to find the Dragon Radar. He was able to overtake the monster, almost matching him blow for blow. He eventually retreated from the fight, as he wanted Goten and Trunks to defeat Buu with their fusion technique, as he wouldn't be around forever. Goku later stated he believed he could have killed Blue if he had actually tried but held complete faith in Gotenks' ability to destroy him if they were to try the fusion dance. This form was next seen used by Gotenks, the fusion between Goten and Trunks. The form was first tested by the duo as Gotenks briefly before defusing, although we can only see them as brief silhouettes appearing and reappearing and surrounded by a large aura explosion, with Trunks calling it their secret weapon and Ultra Super Saiyan. He stated that everyone would be stunned by their results, intending to use the form to surprise their opponent and everyone. Later, during his fight with the new, more powerful version of Majin Buu. While in the hyperbolic time chamber, Piccolo destroyed the only entrance in or out of the dimension, in hopes of trapping Super Buu inside, when he believed that Gotenks had lost, and that the universe would be destroyed. Unfortunately, Super Buu was able to escape by ripping the dimensions open using intense sound waves from his own voice when he became angry at the thought of not having any more food to eat. Learning from the things that Goku taught him about being Super Saiyan 3, Gotenks transforms into Super Saiyan 3 and rips up a hole in a similar fashion, shocking Piccolo. Once outside, Gotenks battled Super Buu in earnest. The two appeared to be an even match, with Gotenks appearing to gain the upper hand before the transformation suddenly wore off. The Super Saiyan 3 state was truly pushed to the breaking point in the final battle against Kid Buu. Despite using his full power as a Super Saiyan 3, Goku had difficulty competing with the seemingly endless power supply of the Majin. Though he appeared to have the advantage for most of the fight before the ki drain became evident, his attacks seemed to be useless against Buu, and the transformation eventually caused his collapse from exhaustion. He later revealed that he might have been able to destroy Kid Buu when at full power, but let the fight drag on to give Vegeta a shot, and/or couldn't focus his power in Kai. Vegeta then powered up to a Super Saiyan 2 in order to buy him the time that Goku needed to get back up to full strength, but the immense stress of trying to gather his power forced him to revert to his normal state before reaching his maximum potential, leaving him heavily drained and unable to transform. It took a super spirit bomb gathered from all the energies of Earth, the ogres in Yema's office, and the Namekian villagers that resided with Muri on New Namek, to finish off Kid Buu, and the Super Saiyan 3 form is never seen in the main manga storyline again. Goku transforms into Super Saiyan 3 form after having battled Beerus as Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, but none of them were causing an effect. Even though his power and speed were increased by a huge amount in this form, it was not enough to even match with Beerus' skills. Super Saiyan 3 was also soon defeated when Beerus gently touched Goku's shoulder, causing him to go unconscious for a brief moment. In the Super manga, Gotenks transforms into a Super Saiyan 3 while battling Beerus, but is beaten just as easily as he was in the anime. This form is surpassed afterward by the Super Saiyan God form, whom Goku utilizes against Beerus, followed by the Super Saiyan Blue form, achieved after fully gaining the power of Super Saiyan God, against the resurrected Frieza. It is from this moment on that Goku discontinued the usage of Super Saiyans 2 and 3, in favor of the more powerful God Ki Super Saiyan Blue form, and during subsequent battles, Goku immediately goes regular Super Saiyan, or Blue, for tougher opponents, or initially Super Saiyan and then evolved directly to Super Saiyan Blue, avoiding the last two forms, due to already mastering the initial form, just like Goku switching from Super Saiyan straight to Super Saiyan 4 in GT. However, unlike GT, Goku does use the Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 forms during battle, albeit extremely sporadically. In the Dragon Ball Super anime, Gotenks does not use his Super Saiyan 3 form until the battle with duplicate Vegeta, realizing that his regular form will not be sufficient to defeat him. After using several attacks, such as Grand Special Rolling Kick, Super Special Crash Hammer, and Finish Special Flash Strong Bomber, all proved to be futile. Duplicate Vegeta, only using his base form, then began to easily land a barrage of blows on Gotenks, defeating him with ease due to having power on par with Vegeta himself. Goku reveals that he can still use the form during his sparring session against future Trunks. In the anime, its quick power boost was enough to allow Goku to defeat future Trunks and shatter the barrier surrounding their battle. In the Super manga, Goku also assumes the form but is shocked to see future Trunks, as a Super Saiyan 2, power himself up so much that his power matches Goku's as a Super Saiyan 3. In the anime, Goku once again uses this form while battling with the illusions of Nappa, Cell, Buu, and Frieza, but this transformation is shown briefly. As the illusions get larger in size, Goku does not put up a fight in his Super Saiyan 3 form and soon reverts to his base form. In the manga version of the Xeno Expo, Goku transforms into this state during the fight against Toph to impress the Omni Kings, but Toph quickly shuts him down in this form, forcing Goku to transform into Super Saiyan God. Goku later uses this form in order to battle Android 17 when recruiting him for the tournament. In the anime, the form was mentioned during the Tournament of Power, as Goku said Caulifla might attain the form during their fight. Goku later briefly transforms into Super Saiyan 3 during his fight with both Caulifla and Kale. He then reverts to Super Saiyan 2, saying he hasn't recovered enough stamina to maintain the form.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.